Hello everybody, welcome once again. This is Ahmed bringing you the continuing adventures of the 5 Elf 5 Lives run with Elf-3, who has not yet died. For those of you who don't remember this run or haven't been watching the previous sections, and just so I can get reacquainted, I began this run as a conjurer, but never really intended to master conjurations. I learned a few utility spells, but primarily Mephitic Cloud is all I've been focusing on. And since the beginning of the match, I only studied enough spellcasting conjurations air poison to get Mephitic reliable, even through my shields and armor. And I've been buffing my bow and arrows ever since, as well as short blades for the effect in combat. Though I can turn that off now because 10 is usually enough to get the most rapid rate. Fighting for the HP, invocations 7 is plenty. I don't know why I'm even studying it anymore. I guess once it hits 100, that must have been what I was trying to do. Stabbing for damage, and yeah. Mephitic Cloud gives me the resilience to survive against a whole host of situations that would otherwise be challenging, and worshipping Okuwaru means that I never have to worry about ammunition because, again, if you look at my ammunition, I'm well stocked with all sorts of varieties of weapons. Let's go ahead and just spend a moment taking stock of my situation here. It's always good to have a multi-hitting attack, so I'll get the lightning carp. I don't need darts or random effects. I'll do more damage with the bow and arrow anyway. I have a couple unidentified scrolls which I would like to read the idea of at this point. So let's do that. Scroll of Summoning and Scroll of Enchant Weapon 3. Oh, that's fancy. Additionally, I wasn't so lucky in the early game so much, but later on I've gotten a few lucky drops from Okuwaru, including a quick blade and longbow of velocity and stabbing, respectively, which of course basically is the Vorpal brand, which means 50% extra damage for melee and 30% extra damage for range. Very nice, very nice. Let's see. What am I working with here? Alright, descending. Gotta clear out the bottom floor of the dungeon on this run, and, or not the dungeon, the lair. Any one of these alone wouldn't be a problem. All of them together is a little more nervous, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off by trying to Mephitic Cloud the fire breather. Turns out there's more hydras than one. If I could shoot them from range, that would be ideal. Since I probably can't, I'm going to Wand of Lightning all of them at once and just see how much chiseling damage that does. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. This is a bad initiate to fight on, so I'm just going to get out of here. Try a different staircase. I can easily take them down with a good archery skill, but, you know, I haven't been on this record in a while. I don't want to screw it up by overestimating myself. I have resistance to poison only, and a little bit of cold, and if I recall correctly, I have another resist cold item stored somewhere. But I'm not wearing any shoes? Wow, that's sad. Oh yeah, and I had the troll leather armor, that's right. Yeah, there are boots right over there. I'm surprised I didn't put them on. There we go, now I have some boots. Getting some better equipment is definitely on my to-do list, though, and I'm mostly going to rely on Okuwaru to eventually gift me some good stuff. God, I love quick blades. I also noticed that my longbow is on the R key instead of W, so I've got to switch that up right now. Adjust items. And for those of you who don't know, to adjust an item, you hit the equal sign and it brings up the, you know, the whole dialogue box you just saw me using. Alrighty. So, take 2 on reaching floor 8. This time let's not go down. There we go, much better. Switching to bow and arrows. In true Legolas fashion, dropping my enemies from range. Now, if I recall correctly, I actually was trying to save my my cold arrows, because cold arrows are very effective against the cold-blooded lizards and the like, and I'm going to be facing a lot of them when I do the swamp eventually. So, I'm going to try to pay more attention, make sure I don't fire those unless I'm actually getting full benefits. And I'm just not paying attention, am I? Let's re-quiver. +1 arrows is fine. The beauty of having such a high bow skill, I think I'm up to 19 already, is I can get away with putting pretty much anything in this and it'll still be dangerous. Let's eat one. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that was interesting about this run, is that I've found so many bumblebee caches that I have a ridiculous amount of food. So I've been devoting a lot of my corpses into Okuwaru worship to try and increase the number of gifts I get. Alrighty, where is that, my most recent unidentified gift? Looks like it's a +2 arrows of dispersal, eh? And I have +3 and +1 dispersal arrows that I need to get rid of. Yeah. You know what would be ideal is if I were to somehow find a frost bow. Could definitely go for one of those. Okie dokie. That's more like it. Bring the Hydra out. The rate I'm going, I'm going to be able to kill anything with any kind of arrow. There's no point using fire arrows against a fire drake though, so let's at least switch to generic +5 arrows. Ah crap, I should have realized I was going to get crowded. Back away one, see who does what. Yeah, okay. We're going to use arrows of dispersal, I think, and just try and get rid of some of these targets that might otherwise negatively impact my health. There we go. Away with you. And now that I have a little bit of distance to work with, I should be able to knock out the Hydra comfortably and switch to the quick blade. Just seal this guy's doom. Where's the Hydra I knocked out? Oh, no corpse. My, you're cheeky. Okie dokie. That's clear. Let's see what comes next. I've mentioned this before, but it's so nice to have, you know, nothing to worry about with your mana except for Mephitic Clouding, because instead of only getting 1 or 2 Mephitic and you get as many as you like, you don't have to worry about switching to attack spells at any point, or running out of mana for that matter. And I really do not want me to keep these. So I looked up the formula on mulching, and basically the way it works is the more pluses you have, the lower the percent likelihood of, I mean, you obviously, you have a chance to mulch just based on what kind of projectile you're using. Is it an arrow, is it a dart, is it fire or ice, is it exploding, etc. But after that's calculated, they take a look at your enchantment. I mean, if it turns up, okay, we're going to mulch you this time, they look at your enchantment level, and they give you a flat percent chance to save it based on how high that is. The higher your enchantment level, the more likely to save it. If it's maximally enchanted to something like +9, I think, or something ridiculous like that, you get like a 90% chance to save it regardless of the initial dice roll. If on the other hand it's, you know, +5 or up, I think that's around that point you start getting an 80% probability of saving. So yeah, so shoot for getting +4/+5 arrows if you want longevity in your arrows. Trying to draw him as far away from the mass as I can before I start shooting. And we're gonna go at him with +2s. Got one. Now let's get out of here before they all show up. Oh, this is too perfect. Using the +5 arrows because I need to try to take them down quicker rather than slower. And you know what, to heck with it. Switch to Quick Blade, and I don't think I need Okuwaru to help me here. But if the rest of his posse shows up, I will. Good Mephitic. Attack from inside the Mephitic cloud, so if anybody tries to hit me, they have to walk through it too. And I have the kind of mana I need to do something like this. Those guys aren't getting Mephitic'd. Alright, screw it. Time to use the +5 to skills ability from Okuwaru. The reason I'm avoiding using it is because it does cost piety, and I am trying very hard to farm a few extra drops, but, you know, there's really no point dying for piety's sake now, is there? This isn't religion. Notice that troll leather armor is so effective that I'm already back up to full health without having done a short rest. I mean, that's the benefit of regen you get from it. And unlike a lot of armor types, which you may never see in the dungeon, you're almost guaranteed to run across a fair number of trolls, so you can easily make it yourself. Alright, I'm trying to get them to break off here, but it's not happening. I should not have let him get so close. That was my mistake. So, we're not going to make that mistake twice. Shoot him. He lives. Nope, he dies. Good. And now we go after the yaks. Yaks. My god. There's so many of them. I'm used to having a herd of like 4 or 5, but this is kind of ridiculous. I hope you kill each other. You all take head to head. Not want to get surrounded. Yeah, heroism is definitely paying its weight in gold. I could go finesse, but there's no need for it. It would give me a double attack speed, basically, which, combined with the fact that I already have a quick blade attack speed, would effectively be like being on crack. There we go. Another god gift. Just a few arrows, nothing, nothing impressive. Oh, crapeth. Quick blade and attack. I am low on mana. Do not like being low on mana. Where's the latest god gift I just got? Oh, this was the latest. Yeah. Okuwaru keeps you well supplied with arrows, no doubt about it, but I am beginning to start to get the feeling that, that set of 100+ enchanted level 5 arrows I did, yeah, that's really been helping throughout the game, so I no longer regret that I did it. I just wish I had found Okuwaru a little bit earlier, so that I could have held off till I could have done like 200 or 300. Then they would have lasted me even longer. The more you know, the more you learn, I guess. Now I know better for next time. Okuwaru gives plenty of ammo, so can lean on that. Where did that Hydra go that was here a second ago? Oh god, switch to dispersal. Oh my god, and you came out of nowhere. Now would be a good time to switch to dispersal, and mercifully I have several varieties of dispersal arrows at my disposal. Got him. And there's another one. You know what? All of these Hydras make me feel pretty good that when I eventually have to fight them in the swamp, I'll be ready for them. Because so far, with the notable exception every now and then where I've screwed up and let them get too close, I seem to know how to handle them. Just make sure you have plenty of dispersal at your beck and call. To be honest, I never realized dispersal arrows were so effective, but I guess you just have to find the right situation to make use of them, huh? Ruined Dwarven Shortsword. Well, it's not going to be as good as a quick blade, but it's worth seeing what it is at least. +4/+4 Blade of Cold. I will in fact keep that on hand just because cold is a useful trait. And I don't have, apart from a limited supply of arrows, I don't have any infinite way of delivering cold to my targets. Now, I could have used arrows against him, but this is an elephant slug. He's got a lot of HP to work through, and I don't want to necessarily mulch a whole bunch of arrows against him. Besides, he ain't going nowhere. Oh yes, I had the Amulet of the Gourmand, didn't I? I could be eating more. Interesting how I forgot about that. There we go, much better. Yeah, nothing like eating elephant to make you a little bit more full. Alrighty, given the strategic placement of these plants, I suspect that they're blocking my way into some further chamber, which at the very least contains more experience, and at the most contains treasure. So let's find out how lucky I am. So far, entirely underwhelming. More so. Alright, let's try door number 2 and hope for better luck. And I'm going to switch to the Dwarven Shortsword just because it deals more damage. And so that will probably help me hack through these a little bit faster. Okay. Finally something a little more interesting. I'm actually gonna turn on Okuwaru's might or finesse or combat ability, whatever you call it, just to speed things along here. Wouldn't want these elephants to, you know, all come to and somehow not be mythic later on. They all have nice reduced health. That's just fine with me. Whatever. Chase them later. For now I have this one cornered, and that's what I want. Alrighty, drop the chunk of elephant flesh I'm obviously not about to eat, and potion of brilliance in exchange for a scroll of detect curse, I suppose will do fine. Alright, that's it. That is the lair cleared out. This lair has spawned with slime pits, shoals, and a snake pit, of which the only one I kinda sorta don't feel too scared to approach is a snake pit. But that even has some really dangerous level enemies, so I would prefer to not make that my first stop. I'm gonna head to Lair 2, where I keep my stash, and after I've taken out, you know, dumped at the stash, I'm probably gonna go after the Orcish Mines or some other easy experience first. Alrighty, where did I keep my stash? Oh, there it is. First things first, dumping food, all 16 honeycombs in particular. Porcupine came upstairs, how quaint. Next, look at this. Oh yes, scrolls. I no longer need the scrolls of enchant weapon. One of the recharge scrolls can stay. Enchant weapon stays. Amnesia stays. Half my teleport scrolls can stay because I still have half, and that's plenty to be getting on with. Scroll of Torment can stay. Nah, I'll keep that just in case. Scroll of Detect Curse can stay. I don't want Scroll of Summoning, because if I summon an ally and he dies, I get punished. This bow is useless, because I have, you know, Vorpal long bow by comparison. That's always going to be the better option. I'm going to drop the Potion of Cure Mutation. The last thing I want is for that to get broken while it's in my pocket. And if I ever have a mutation, hopefully I can get back here to fix it. A bad mutation. Book of Alchemy can stay, and anything of interest? Nothing I really want. Lethal Infusion is kind of the closest to even vaguely interesting any of these things are. Alright, looks like I'm good to go again. I have the extra, oh yeah, that was because I wanted a cold sword. Alright, I'm good to go. So I think next we're going to attempt to clear a sub-branch. We're going to do the Hive, and once the Hive is cleared, not that I need the food, but hopefully I can get one more piece of armor from, you know, just the sheer amount of piety I should be able to farm here. And once I finish clearing the Hive, I'll be all ready to attempt a harder branch, possibly even the Orcish Mines. Because right now I'm having just this premonition and bad feeling about the snake pit. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, just I'd rather put it off. Gotta love how they're poisoning each other. I don't even have a poison weapon equipped right now. This is an arrow trap, eh? Let's disarm it. So far, the hives have predictably shown very little challenge. I say predictably because the hive never shows much challenge. And I've already killed, what, 4 queen bees, so yeah, this is not my most desperate attempt at the hive by a long shot. Yeah, to heck with Mephitic Cloud, let's just kill things. I do still need unobstructed line of sight though. Notice that I'm using +0 basic generic arrows right now. It's because right now I only will be facing these very simple enemies, and I don't want to, unnecessarily waste good arrows. Not that it's a big deal. Ooh, a fancy cloak. Cloak of the Thief, in giving me invisibility, levitation, evasion, dexterity bonus, seeing invisible, and stealth bonus, though it does reduce my damage slightly. I'm gonna say it's a good weapon, but I reserve judgment till I see how it affects my ability to wield a quick blade, because I already know quick blades kinda don't have very high damage output. Yeah, I'm not fond of what it's doing to my quick blade usage. It seems to have diluted the damage even further. All that really means is that I need to find a few more scrolls of enchant weapons somehow to get the damage back up, because this is a very nice cloak. Mercifully, I deal so much damage with bow and arrows that it doesn't really affect my archery skill very much. I am taking damage at this point, so let's do this. Oh dear god, I was using magic dart instead of using my bow and arrow. No wonder I wasn't getting one-hit kills. Let's go ahead and mop up these corpses real quick. Sure enough, going to the hive was the right decision, just for the reason I pointed out that it's not that I need food, but all this easy piety means I might get an extra god gift, and that extra god gift will probably be armor, and more armor is always a good thing. If I get some better enchantments and such. Actually, what does this cloak do exactly? Invisibility, those 2, dex +2. Yeah, evasion +2 and dex +2 alone makes this thing worth it. Everything else, even if it's unnecessary with just that much of a boon, it's still good enough to keep. Just finishing picking up as much as I can and storing it in a nice big pile, then making sure that I've retrieved as many of my arrows as I can. Putting those in a nice big pile as well. Alrighty, I think that just about clears it. And all without once needing to utilize my god abilities. So, maintaining as much piety as I possibly can. Oh, thank God. Yay, another gift. This time, just arrows of dispersal. Bummer. Well, if it's a weapon gift, that means I'm more likely to get a, it means that there's less of a cooldown to wait for the next one, so that's at least something. And for all I knock 'em, arrows of dispersal are pretty clutch. Alrighty, and that just about finishes the clearing the hive. Yeah. My God, how many of these suckers are there? You would think if you attack a beehive, nothing would be inside it. Oh wait, that's stupid. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Honeycombs in one big pile, jellies in another. Got 15 more honeycombs where that came from, so let's drop 14 of them. I said let's drop, well, let's just drop 9 of them, I guess. There's no need to drop them all. Okay, that should about do it for now. Yeah. I guess I don't need my elven cloak anymore if I'm going to be utilizing this cloak of the thief instead. Alright. And skill-wise, I'm getting armor, bows. I forgot to turn off invocations in the end, but 9 is more than enough, so we'll turn it off now. Bows is at 18. That's solid, but you know, you can never have too much of it, so keep it going. Stabbing, of course, needs work. Fighting can never have too much of a good thing. Armor, shield, same logic. I want to turn off one more skill so that I can actually get more EXP faster, but when pressed I can't think which of these to get rid of the most. I guess shields. I'm just as likely going to end up not using a shield, to be completely honest, just because it's often more hassle than it's worth, and if I get a good two-handed weapon of some kind, I won't want it. Alright, that concludes this part of the run. Elf-3 is, as you can see, still very much alive. Next stop, probably work mines, maybe the snake pit, I don't know, we'll see. Thank you for watching.